heathens, it's Gundidi, and I got a question for you. Do you have astigmatism? Do you look at red dots or holographic sights and they just look blurry to you? Well, I do, and that's one problem that I have that I found a solution for. That is Prism Optics. If you guys have ever tried a Prism Optic, chances are you guys know of the Trigicon ACOG, the most famous Prism Optic there is. But basically what a Prism Optic is it is a small glass optic that has an etched reticle on it, which can be illuminated. With the Trigicon, they use fiber optics to light up the reticle. With this guy, this is the Monstrum Marksman 1x Prism. This is a circle dot reticle that is lit up by battery power. So it's got a little diopter here that you could change for whatever color you like. Green, red, whatever you like. Which is nice because with red dots, when you change between red and green, what happens is they have the red and green emitters on two different sections. There's a slight deviation in your zero. With a Prism sight, because the reticle is etched on the glass, all it's doing is lighting up the actual reticle. So you could change between red and green and it doesn't affect your zero in any way whatsoever, which is really nice. I'm a fan of etched reticles like Prism sights because, like I said, I have astigmatism. When I'm looking at a red dot, it's kind of fuzzy, kind of a little blurry without my prescription glasses on. But I got this guy, it's a one-time zoom, so it's not gonna affect the visual representation of your target because it's not zooming in on the target. It is just a one-time zoom. It's perfect for a little pistol like this Grand Power Strybog, which I had a cheap little red dot on before, which was perfectly acceptable. But what's great about these guys is because it's an etched reticle, I don't have to worry about if the battery dies on me. Because if the battery dies, it's still a circle dot ready to go. Neat little optic, and this is probably the cheapest Prism optic you can get on the market. I love these micro prisms because their footprint is very similar to a red dot. Doesn't take up a whole lot of real estate, and it's very inexpensive, which is really nice. I'm a big fan of inexpensive gear that can do the job. So let's go ahead and put some rounds on this guy, see how she feels, how she's zeroed. I did just put this optic on this pistol. I have not zeroed it in any way whatsoever. I just mounted it and we're out at the range. So we're gonna go ahead and see how she zeroes straight from the box. We're gonna aim at our little steel target, probably about 15 yards away, and we should be good. But let's go ahead and put some rounds on target and see how she is. So we're gonna put a couple rounds on this target and see how she's zeroed straight from the box. Like I said, this is a Prism optic, so it's already etched on the glass. I don't have to turn anything on, which is great for a defensive pistol because a lot of red dots, they say they're motion awake, but some of them aren't. So I do like a Prism sight because I don't have to think about it. If I need it in a quick defense situation, it's ready to go. The negative side is with this one, you do have to manually turn the light on, which is kind of upsetting. But let's go ahead and put a few rounds on this target and see how she's zeroed straight from the factory. All right, so it looks like she's actually pretty darn accurate straight from the factory. Like I said, I'm about 15 yards from my target, maybe a little less, and my target is a small silhouette. But let's take her out to some range. I'm not shooting at anything in particular, but there's some leftover junk that some people left behind here, and I just want to see if it's going to hit those leftover junk pieces. All right, so I just shot at a target that is roughly, I'd say it's roughly 60 yards away, and I put the dot right on it and it hit right where I was aiming, which is perfect. Let's go out a little more distance. Looks like about 100 yards away, someone left a tire out on top of the hillside. So let's go ahead and shoot a couple shots at that tire and see if she's good for distance too. Holy cow. So, like I said, that tire is about 100 yards away, and I was putting my dot right on it, and it was hitting it just fine. And this is with a 9mm with a short barrel. So this optic is actually pretty zeroed straight from the factory. All right, so one of the biggest things about a pistol optic is it needs to be able to transition very well. So let's go ahead and do a couple transitionals. We're gonna start at our steel target, and then I got a couple of random pieces of junk, I should say, out there that I'm gonna just kind of quickly transition to and see how she transitions. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So it transitions really well. It's got a large eye box, so you can actually see the whole range really well. It's a very decent sized optic compared to like a red dot sight. Like the red dot sight that I had on here before was the, what was it? It was a AT3 or something like that from, ooh, I don't even remember what company it was, but it was a cheaper red dot. Nothing crazy, nothing to write home to mom about, but it was a cheap little red dot that worked somewhat okay, but its biggest issue was the eye box was so small. So transitioning was kind of difficult because you had such a little tiny eye box to look through. This guy has a large eye box, so we can, and what I mean by eye box is when you're looking through the optic, what you're seeing through the optic. And I can see most of this range through this optic just fine. There is a black ring that goes all the way around it. I'm sure if I adjusted the position of this, if I adjusted the position of this dot pretty well, or this optic pretty well, I could close up that black ring pretty well and get even more of an eye box. But so far, where it naturally sits is actually pretty nice, and I could see the whole range really well. The glass is actually pretty clear, and there's no major glare or anything like that, which I really do like, because I have the sun coming directly behind me. It's reflecting off of this glass, but it's not affecting my eye box in any way. A really nice way to tell a cheap optic from a decent optic. Now, I'm not saying this has got the best glass in the world, but so far it's doing pretty well for me, especially for the price that I paid for it. There are Amazon red dots that are more expensive than this that don't work as well as this so far. But you know, one thing that I don't think I ever test on this channel is how durable a budget optic is. So we saw our basic zero already, so let's go ahead and give her a couple taps and see if she holds zero. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give her a couple taps. We saw that this is pretty close to zero straight from the factory. So one major thing with optics is there's a chance that you might drop your gun. So let's go ahead and give it a couple good taps. Make sure nothing loosened up, nothing's loose. Let's go ahead and take her back over to the range and see if it affected zero in any way. All right, so we gave her a few love taps just to see if it messes up my zero in any way. We're gonna go ahead and take a few more shots at the steel target and see how she does. No problem whatsoever. I mean, that was a pretty decent example of what could happen. You guys saw that I tapped her pretty good.
That's what she said.
But you know, part of durability is knowing how she's gonna react if you drop her on the ground, right? I don't wanna drop my grandpower onto the ground, but I do have a nice little sized boulder right over here.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
We could tap her against the boulder and see what happens. All right. Let's go ahead and give her a couple love taps on this boulder here and see how she works. All right, we got some good dings and dents on there. How's the glass? Glass is still in really good shape. So even just a few love taps ain't gonna damage this optic in any way. So let's go ahead and put some more rounds on this guy and see if our zero's affected now that we got some good love taps on there. We got some good love taps on the optic. Let's go ahead and see if it affected our zero in any way. No, this optic's pretty darn solid and pretty nice for what it is. Let's go ahead and make sure that the illumination still works. Oh yeah, illumination works. It's non-existent in this bright sun though. So if you're looking for a bright illumination, this probably isn't that option for you. This optic is not very bright with its illumination, so it'll work in low light situations, but today when we have full sun and not a cloud in the sky, it's not doing us any good for this illumination. Just something to point out. It works, but it's just fun because this little optic is inexpensive. It is a very budget-minded optic, and you know, it's just a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and waste these last few rounds, and then I'll give you my first thoughts opinion on it. I love my Strybog. If you don't have one yet, you need to get one. They're so much fun. Let's go ahead and get this stuff off, and we'll go up front, make sure everything's clear, and we'll get you my first thoughts opinion. All right, guys, so my quick first thoughts opinion on the Marksman from Monstrum. It is a really nice little prism sight. Something really cool to throw on a pistol platform, maybe a rifle if you don't plan on reaching out too far, because it is only a one-time zoom. Definitely an option for you. I'm a fan of it so far. It's doing really well. It's held up to some little bit of beating. It's held up pretty good to just some quick transitionals. It's a very nice little budget-minded optic. Over time, we'll see if it holds up to the test of time. If I have any issues, I will definitely post an update video. But so far, on my first shots opinion on the Marksman from Monstrum, it is definitely a option for you if you are budget minded. Now, are there better prism sights out there? Probably. Is there better prism sights for 50 bucks? Probably not. I got this guy on sale for 50 bucks. I think it was a Blem deal, something like that. I think regular price is right around $70, maybe $100. I'll post it in the description below so you guys can check it out for yourself. But it's definitely a cool option for you, and Monstrum always has really good deals on these guys. All right, guys, if you liked that video, go ahead and hit like. Comment in the comment section. Would you buy a Monstrum optic? I know they're out of China, but a lot of optics are nowadays. So let me know in the comment section if you trust Monstrum for a good little range gun. It doesn't have to be your defense gun. You could go with Trigicon or whatever name brand you like for your defense gun. But is it cool enough for a range toy? Let me know in the comment section. Guys, if you haven't gone to the website yet, check out gundeity.com where you can get shirts like this. This is a new design. It has got the Gun Deity logo on the front. On the back, it's got a Memorial Day patch on there. It was designed for Memorial Day. I'm still running it, so if you guys want to get one for yourself, it's got little memorance to our soldiers there on the back. It's pretty nice. Other than that, we do have hats. This one is called Anubis. This is a design that's got Anubis holding an AK-47. I think it's pretty neat. But definitely check out the website, gundeity.com. And guys, at the end of the day, have fun, get some good fun range optics, and you know, don't spend every dollar you have on an optic. You don't have to. It's definitely options out there for fun range toys. Guys, as always, I'm Gun Deity, and I will see you heathens for the next one.
I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a